Sanding drywall is easily one of the most miserable chores in home improvement, mostly because of the fine white powder that ends up coating every single surface in the house. This Kitvance sander is clearly trying to solve that specific headache. Right out of the box, the first thing that hits you is the build quality. It feels surprisingly substantial, and that 950-watt motor has a real sense of authority when you kick it on. It's not just a plastic toy, it's got some weight to it, which actually helps keep the head pressed against the wall without you having to fight it. The standout feature here is definitely the dust collection. They've gone with a proprietary rubber seal around the head, and honestly, it works better than most of the shop vac attachments you'll find on cheaper models. You're still going to have a little bit of cleanup, but it cuts down the airborne mess by a massive margin. It's a huge relief not to be breathing in a cloud of gypsum while you're trying to smooth out a ceiling. Speaking of ceilings, the telescoping pole is a smart touch. Being able to stretch this thing out to over 6 feet means you can hit those high spots without constantly dragging a ladder around, which is a massive win for safety and just general sanity. Now, the speed control is tucked away nicely, and having 9 different settings is actually useful. You don't always want full power when you're working on a delicate patch or a corner, so being able to dial it back to 800 RPM gives you a lot more finesse. The LED ring around the head is another one of those features that sounds like a gimmick until you're working in a dim room. It casts just enough light to show you exactly where those high spots and ridges are hiding, which saves you from having to go back over the same area twice. It isn't perfect, though. Because of that heavy-duty motor and the sturdy construction, it can get a little tiring to hold for long stretches, especially when you're working overhead. Even with the ergonomic grip, your shoulders are going to feel it after an hour or two. Also, while the foldable design is great for shoving it into a closet, the hinge mechanism feels like the one part you'll want to keep an eye on over time to make sure it doesn't get loose. But look, if you've got a whole room to finish and you're dreading the mess, this thing is a serious upgrade. It's powerful, it keeps the air relatively clear, and it turns a multi-day nightmare into a much faster, cleaner job. If you're tired of the dust, this is probably going to be your new best friend.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.